Hey everybody, and welcome to another stream. Tonight, going to be doing the Ecto again, and actually, it's getting
Don't have any notifications.
Shh. I have a smart speaker. Actually, it's getting to be a lot of fun because we're into the big parts of the car, the body of the car. That's cool, Donnie. I take it. Are you working on the Disco Prize? No, you finished the Disco Prize. Which Enterprise are you working on? And I will get back to the Enterprise eventually. Hey, bud. Welcome back. Glad to have you. So, like I said, working on the Ghostbuster car tonight. Streaming it an hour late because today I actually didn't get off work until my normal 6 o'clock when I would CVC. Oh, you're working on an Is that? Oh, that's the one you were talking about on Discord today, the 1700. I am looking forward to seeing that. I've got that in 350. Nothing, no bells and whistles. Maybe eventually when I buy it, I will buy photo etch and stuff like that. And you're right, that photo etch is freaking tiny. It's tiny on the 1/200 scale Titanic. I can imagine how small it is on the 1/700 scale CV6. So, yeah, like I was saying, things going on in the world, things going on at work. Most of you guys know I work as budget analyst for the government. And because of the things that are going on, it is. Because of things going on, we needed coverage for 12 hours a day. We've got somebody coming in early. I'm coming in late. Still working on UDS 9. I'm looking forward to that as well, Jalen. But no, we've got because we need 12 hours from 6 to 6 coverage, which we could actually probably go with 24-hour coverage, but we only don't have enough people. So we've split up some shifts, and probably things will be happening on the weekend as well. It's an interesting time, like the old Chinese proverb of "May you live in interesting times." So let me switch over to the droid cam. This one's off a little bit. And I apologize, this camera has been a little slow, so if things don't move when I expect them to, it's because of that. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag. But this is what I did last time. Slide it back. What you just heard was the bumper falling over, and it is actually almost too big at this point to fit in the entire, fit in the screen. What I've got tonight, let me switch cameras. What I'm going to be working on tonight is issue 20, and it comes with some fairly decent sized parts. So we've got, of course, I grabbed the wrong one. It's got stage 21 here, and it's interior to the hood and the hood hinge. I said 21, 71, not. It is very huge. It's a little bit larger than the DeLorean was. Probably about 3 to 6 inches longer. But it is. I love this thing. I love how it's coming together. More parts for the hinge. That I believe is a part of a roof panel there. And as I move parts over, I'm putting them on top of the car. Stage 73. This is actually, you know what? That roof panel goes in here, and this is the roof of the car, where it was missing in the when I showed the car. And then the first quarter panel. I need to reread some emails that I got, or an email that I got, because this brings me up to stage 74. I believe it's stage 79, which I already have, is where they have the one of the doors and the sticker. Matter of fact, let me pull that out so I can bring it up to the camera a little bit closer. So originally when they released this, when they first were talking about it, that right there was supposed to be painted on. Now it's a sticker, and I'm not sure, because there were a lot of complaints about the sticker. Eric, how's it going? So how was that movie, Eric? Eric is now playing dead on the floor because I'm talking about Galaxy Quest. So, just an inside joke. But no, it's a sticker now instead of painted on, and a lot of people have been complaining about it. So I got an email that says, don't put on the sticker when you get it in issue 79. Wait, because in issue 120 something, they're going to fix it. Might be a new door panel. I don't know what they're going to do. I know there are some aftermarket stickers out there. Regardless, once I finish this model, especially because I'm paying the extra $1 a month to get the crystal case that goes over it, I'll probably Prilosec. Oh yeah, I know those days, Jalen. But I will probably never, other than to turn it on, mess with this model. Just like the rest of them, I build them, I display them. So the sticker's not going to bother me one way or the other, other than getting it in the right position. So let me get stage 71 back over here and into the huge stages. And yes, it is good to hear that you're feeling a little bit better, Jalen. I feel for you that you probably, since you've got Prilosec, I'm guessing you've been diagnosed with GERD. Not a fun time. Not something you'll ever get rid of either. But you can either... I know there are people out there that change their whole lifestyle and everything else to deal with the issue. Me, I never have. I just press on with pride, live life to the fullest, and deal with the consequences of my actions with my GERD, my gout, my hearing loss. It sucks getting old, but we all do it. The key is to enjoy it as it happens. Okay, so like I said, and this is plastic. Internal framing for the hood that we got way back in stage 1. Never have gone back and gotten an aftermarket part to replace those. Yeah, not heartburn, but gastroesophageal, I forget what GERD is. Gastroesophageal reflux disease. Not, like I said, not something you want, but not something you can ever get rid of. So, like I was saying, I've never changed these. There is aftermarket parts out. I'm not too concerned about the screw heads. It's good enough for me. And this will, I don't think it's in stage 72, actually. It's part of 72, but I think it's in stage 73, or not 71, it's not 72, 71. I think it's in stage 73 that this actually gets put in there. So I'm going to put it off to the side. I could be wrong. Let me double check, just because. Oh, no, it does get attached during this stage. Let's see. Many types of screws. More QMs. I think I've got QMs, RMs, some BMs, EPs, Yes, Nexium is the magic purple pill. Except I no longer take it, and the government no longer will buy it because it is very expensive. SM, a new type of screw. Got a spring here, and then these are all parts for the hinge mechanism. You know what? I was going to say, don't be me. I don't have a screwdriver. But I do. Let me sit the rest of the kit here out of the way. So the first thing it says to do, and BM screws, so let me get them out and put the rest of these out of the way. Move the red tube glue. I set up, usually I have about, that's why you take the over the counter. But usually I have about 2.5 hours to set up. Today I had about 45 minutes. So, but I can't forget my obligatory FX01 running here like a champ. Been running, you know, my obligatory plug for the HLI lighting cards. This one has been running, let me move that so you don't have that way, since May when I got it. This one has been running for about a month now. Kenny, speak of the devil, as soon as I talk about your cards, here you come. Actually, my cards that I bought from you. And the Klingon Bird of Prey, still going. There's a light flicker to this one. You can't see it on camera. These two have a really low glow, but still got the, what is it? That's the disruptors and the photon torpedo. It's a little sweet, that's true. You need to post that, change your Facebook profile picture. You really do. So to get this thing, this plastic out of the way, I'm going to cut this big piece off so I can just keep the parts. And Donnie, you can blame Little Sweet there for the Ecto, because he was mumbling in the chat about the Ecto last week during the while I was doing the Iron Man. We all want you to be Little Sweet for Halloween. We all think it would be awesome. We thought it was a done deal that you were going to be Little Sweet. So AM, those are metal screws. Actually, I do need the metal screws. I know it does. I am enjoying this car. You missed it earlier, and well, I don't think you were here. You may have been, but you'll be able to see it in the rerun of how big the car is right now. Just the body, it's huge. Any word on the X-Wing? I've actually got all the parts on the X-Wing, bud. I haven't seen anything from on Fan Home yet that they're re-releasing it. I agree. The 1A is much better, and it's actually one of the first kits I ever lit. I built it in 1/24th scale. Matter of fact, my first video that's posted on my channel is the light bar test from that car. Let me get 2 BM screws. But yeah, bud, just keep an eye on the Fan Home website, and eventually they will start releasing it again. What you need to do, bud, if you get the X-Wing, when Okay, OBS just reconnected. So yeah, they'll eventually re-release it. But you know, it is a great kit, and Falcon 3D Parts, can't say enough about the Gus who runs it. It is a fantastic site. He does some really great parts for it. So to work on the Ghostbuster. So this here 71B is part of the it's part of the hood hinge. It says right, but they're the, you know, as far as I can see, they're the same. So this part here, there's an arrow. Okay, so there's an R and an arrow and a flange that sticks off of there right there. I don't know if you can see the R or not, but there's an arrow up here at the top. So it goes on here like this with the flange coming off. It goes on the with parts, this part sitting here like this. It goes sticking off the right side with the flange also sticking off to the right. So let me put the screw through here. That's not playing nice. And you guys see I'm back to using the mouse rather than the little number pad that I bought, because anytime I type anything with when I've got shortcuts or got it hooked up to OBS, then it screws with OBS and starts streams. Like, you know, my inadvertent live stream from a few weeks ago was supposed to be a recording. Things like that. Eventually, I'm going to get an actual Stream Deck. Now, don't know if you saw, I just backed this screw out a little bit because it's not wanting to go all the way in, because the parts are painted. They paint the parts after drilling the screw heads and tapping them, so it doesn't. The paint blocks the screws a little bit. Switching heads on the screwdriver just to see if I can get this to go a little bit better. No. Is that one going to do better? Maybe. Almost like it's cross-threaded. I am going to grab my WD-40 and spray some in here so I've got lube for the screws, because they're not playing nice tonight. Instead of using the straw, yeah, but if the buttons are all on the Stream Deck, because the Stream Deck won't use hotkeys like the one or something like that, the Stream Deck will just use the Stream Deck buttons. Hey Spencer, welcome. So what evil things have you got planned for new boards? Haven't seen any new boards recently. Of course, I know it takes a while to get them actually prototyped and built. So when you get a Stream Deck, Kenny, which one are you going for, the 15 or the 32? Because I know you, like me, are not going to go for the 6. No, OBS is working better now. Ow! Much better. A little bit of WD-40 on there. I'm going to tighten this down all the way and then loosen it just a hair. Because I've had other screws come loose on other builds. So the next part is going to be this one here. A little bit of a bend in it. And again, let me see if I can get it to reflect. It's not going to. There is an R on there. The R will go face to the right as I'm holding this part. Hang on. Okay, it looks like this notch here is going to cause a problem, but it actually will fit in there just right. Yeah, it's not OBS that's causing the problem right now. It is DroidCam, I think. Hey GB, welcome. Sorry it's a little bit later tonight. So, no, Donnie, that's the thing, is I'm not balancing my checkbook, but if I end up chatting anything, that's when it does weird things. And you know, when I set up the stream, I usually end up chatting a little bit. It'll probably work great for videos, but it doesn't work great for the doesn't work great for a live stream. I need to clean my bench up again. But this one is also not going straight in. This is true. I don't think you or Eric ever sleep. And you are very right, Spence. Acid reflux does suck really bad. Well, I'm over here switching tips, screwdrivers. Maybe this one. There we go. That's the ticket. End up with a lot of these screwdrivers. And actually, this one is not from any of the builds. That is the beginning of the hinge mechanism. Both parts move freely. And then on the end of this piece here, I attach this piece here, which has an arrow here and a flange sticking out to the side again. Man, OBS is running slow tonight. And that's going to be another BM screw. I'm going to dip it in WD-40 again. Put it through the hole here. Hopefully it'll thread in without any issues here. Maybe I should use the screwdriver that I found that works really good with this stuff. I use the numpad anytime I do numbers. Yes, it is. And yet, Donnie, because of my job, I don't even know about the number keys across the top of the keyboard. Haven't used them in 20 some years. It is a thing, Donnie. It's getting dark, so let me turn on the lights. Ecto, turn on bench. It was very, very bright. Oh, come on. Really? Hang on. Let me try switching cameras and switching back. This one should not be having the strobing. Interesting. That one doesn't have strobing. I know what I got to do. It's really funny because, you know, I don't want to switch cameras, but I might have to. Hang on. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I turn this one back on. No. I need to buy a real camera. That's all there is to it. Okay. So, got. It's just a hair tight. Got these 4 pieces linked together. So now a QM screw is going to put I'm just looking to figure out, okay, this part, usually the parts should all be highlighted in yellow. This one is not highlighted in yellow, but it should be. So this part flips over this way. So this part here will flip over this direction. And it will fit in like that. Okay, I see what it's telling me to do. So there's a hole in this part, and a matching hole here. Come on, focus. There's a matching hole in that part. Is that, you're right, I think. Now what's causing the strobing is the strobing there was caused by the light rocking back and forth. So let me set these parts over here and get rid of that. Thank you, Donnie. So as I was saying, there are holes in all these parts that will line up together, and a QM screw will go through and hold them all together, or hold them all, yeah, basically together. So QM, okay. Where did I put them? There. It's right there in the body of the car. QM screws are pretty long, comparatively speaking. QM screw is pretty long, so it will go through. Before I do that, let me put some oil on it. So it'll go through this arm here, and then this gear piece, and into the main part of the hinge. Let's see if I can get it to thread through. Okay. Into here. There we go. And it is, like I said, a significantly long compared to most of them screw. Snug but not tight. So then this one, that's why that's over there. This one here flips back over somehow. Interestingly, it's in there the way it's supposed to, but there's a piece here that is blocking. Okay, there's. Oh! Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to figure out why I can't get this part here to go over there. It's because this arm that it's attached to is supposed to be attached to this end of it. This screw is in the wrong, or this, I've got this going through the wrong hole on this part. I'm not even using my C920 for this. I'm using my Droid Cam. Webcams are not quite as good, but I'm like Kenny. I like really bright lights. So see, here's the problem. I had the screw through this part here. It should have been through this end here. The Droid Cam is really, really slow tonight. I might have to start using webcams instead, much as I don't really want to. Okay, that's better. So now this part will reach over to here. And the two arrows I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I can get it to where you can see them. Those two arrows right there have to line up the way they are. And then that gets held in place by another QM screw. And this arm here goes across as well. Holy cow, that's far behind. Sorry about the lag from the camera, guys. But all of it goes together like this. And there you can see the hole. I've got to get them all lined up. Those are lined up. That's lined up. One each QM screw. I wonder. Let's see if we can. No, I don't have that set up to zoom, although it is working a whole lot better than the Droid can. Sorry about this, guys. There. Really? I didn't know you gave up on the Droid Cam, because usually I don't have that big a problem with it. Actually, usually I have it works really well for me. So I may have to reconfigure my bench for videos. I just lost that one. Get the oil off there so I can see it. Those are lined up. What amazes me is my oldest camera, my C615, which is like 7 years old. I haven't caught that it's skipped a whole lot. I mean, you guys know better than I do that whether my Droid Cam skips or not, because I use it on every stream. Do my videos skip a whole lot, or is this a rare occasion tonight? So that is in there. It doesn't appear that it moves. Put that screw in there. And it says to attach these springs, but I think it needs to be able to move first. And honestly, I think there's that part right there. I'm showing it to the wrong camera. So right there, it doesn't show that part right. Oh, okay, there. Never mind. I was pushing it the wrong way. And that part that I was just talking about, right, kind of flying blind here, guys. Right there, that part. Is what I thought was not supposed to be there. Yes, they are. And you shouldn't be eating them, Eric. They're not good for you. Wow, this thing catches and stays then. That's because I'm moving the wrong spot. Okay, so now I've got the hinge working. While I'm messing with cameras, let me move this one to where I've got a better idea. Well, that didn't work. You guys know me. I will fix things on the fly. Kenny's looking for more professional videos. I'm just playing it by ear. Let me try that. Better. Better. Okay. So that's how that moves. Let me get the spring, which, speaking of springs on my F16, anybody who's following when I do anything on Discord, yeah, I screwed up on the springs on that, so, or a spring that was supposed to be part of the power unit. So I showed it before, but there you can see the flange where this screw is going to catch here. Make sure I got it the right way. And then, wow, it's got some pretty good tension on there. Holy moly. Let's see. They do get better, closer together. So I pulled it up like that, so I've got those two parts as close together as I can. I'm going to take and I clipped it over top. You can see it right there. And make sure it is, yeah, it's firmly seated. So now this hinge is really strong. That will definitely hold the hood up. So I'm gonna get this out of the way. This, move the oil. Bring back the hood, not put it on the bench directly. Maybe I'll get like a black cutting pad as well. Exactly. Hungarian goulash sounds good, but is it homemade? I regularly get Austrian goulash that is homemade. The benefits of having an Austrian wife. PSM, those are the screws I need. Exactly, Donnie. I want videos to work. I want them to work. Two, I want them to work well enough that other people can actually watch them and enjoy them. What good is enterprise if it's all jerky and stuff? So let me put these screws in here. And again, M is for metal, P, as in AP here, is for plastic, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 SM screws here. And I'm willing to bet there's only 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Double check. 3, 6, 9. Yep, 9 screws to hold this in and hold this plastic. C is for cookie. Yes, C is for cookie. So the plastic frame here goes in here, and if you look, just here, 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 same on the other side, and then 1, 2, 3 right down the center. It literally it did fall on there. Literally falls into place pretty much. I'm going to try and get away without using oil on this because I don't want to mar the plastic either. That's snug. What's funny is I am coming up on my 1-year anniversary on doing videos, and I'm about to rearrange my setup again, like the 4th time. November will be my 1-year anniversary. I don't remember which day. Interesting, that feels like it's caught, but it doesn't. It didn't, let me put it this way. It tightened down. It did not tighten to a stopping point. Right front corner. Left front corner while it's upside down. And then opposite corner. Still don't know why I do this on the model, but I do. I do it when I put my tires on just because to balance out the stresses. I don't think it would matter on a Jerky is not doing the Enterprise. No, I'm not. So there. Why are you calling me Jerky? There's number 8. Number 9. Jerky is not sharing that with your friends. The hood lock. Oh wow. This actually has the little pushover hood lock. I'm going to minimize Droid Cam because it is actually in my field of view. You should share that jerky with your kids though, Eric. I can't believe you're not letting them have any. Okay. So this part goes on here. I'm just looking. Okay, so on the hood, you see the 4 screws there, or 4 screw holes there, and then there's one more there. That one is for the latch. Those 4 are for this latch. Interested to see how this is actually going to work out. Actually, that 5th one here in the front is for that pin. 3 out of the 4 screws go through, or go in, just holding the bracket. The 4th one actually holds the lever, or should I say lever? Sorry. So I need EP and AP screws. Wow, 200 Q-tips? So I'm investing in Q-tips next time you do a model. I really am, Jalen. But if it came out the way you wanted it to, then that is awesome. So let me get 3 of these out. And these are EPs, meaning plastic, so I don't want to tighten them up too. I want them snug, but not, wrenching on them as if they're going into metal. Trying to line up the holes so I can put a black screw through black plastic into black metal. Or actually it's into black plastic, but you share it with the dog, kids, wife can get her own. Donnie says that to us, but what does Donnie say to the wife when she's actually there? And of course you got to share it with Jack. I don't share a whole lot of the human food with our dogs. My wife does it enough. And Charlie, our large Pomeranian, ends up getting diarrhea if he eats too much not dog food. He's got a very sensitive stomach. I just saw there's actually a little flange right there. You can see it with my thumbnail behind it. That flange is going to catch a spring, I am sure. I'm not sure where it's going to hook on here, but like I said, there's a pin here, screw hole, pinhole, and screw hole there. 1 AP screw. And that's 1 for me and 1 for the screw box. Slide that in there, or screw that in there. So that's tight, and I'm wondering how this is going to work, whether it's going to pull forward, because that's a really small area to have a hood latch. EP screws and one of the first parts that I got for this car is that piece of trim. And it goes on just like that and gets held in place by 3 EP screws, which I've got about, I don't know, I'd say that's probably about 50 or 60 spares. I just realized something. I wonder if I'm missing chat, because I've got it on top chat. Nope. Okay. So one goes in the center here. I've wanted to hook this to the nose of the car for so long, or to the hood. And 1 on each side. It shows the video is not running. Okay, there. The video stopped for a minute. I think it's my internet tonight, guys, among other things. So, wow. Not really happy with that gap. It would have been nice if they'd have done a single piece. That's a pretty significant gap there. There is no fixing it. Unless I throw putty on it, and I'm not going to do that. So now this goes on here. Hinge part. These hinge parts go to the inside of the hood. There's two lugs here for screws that just drops down over top, and there are two RM screws go in there. Of course, I've got all the plastic ones instead of the metal ones. Let me get the RMs. There's just one spare. Get rid of the plastic here. Grab this. A little bit of WD-40. Get this one started. And it's not, it popped out. Because it's not going to work laying down on the, I don't think it's going to work laying down on the table, but it might. Try this again. Okay, that's got that one started. This one's going to be interesting. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm going to see how it's set up. There's this hole here for the screwdriver to go through. I'm almost positive it won't fit through with the screw on it. So let me put the screw down in there. Very carefully. That one went in a whole lot easier than the front one. Or started, shall I say. Make sure I don't have any oil in my hand. Okay, that one's tight. Now let me see if I can do something about this one. Sorry you can't see anything. It's on the back side of the hood. And now that one's on. You can see there's two screws there. And I'm hoping that isn't going to want to spring up like that all the time. So, that's the hood so far. Now let me get left hood hinge part 72. I'm going to move this keyboard out of the way. TV cable with a wooden board screwed to it. Works as good cutting surface too. Okay, there's that. Let me open these parts. Actually, let me bring it over here so that it can flare out the screen. That one actually came apart surprisingly easy. So more QM screws, more RM screws, another spring, BM screw, DM screws. This, like I said, I believe is part of the roof. Basically the same parts as the first hinge, only on the opposite side. So let me get them all out so I can get this shiny plastic out of the camera's view. And so, like I said, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. You can see this one a little bit better because I'm using a different camera. Got that point on the bottom there. It'll actually drop into a hole here on the car. So here's the one with the spring tab there, and the spring tab there, and the bent part here. So the bent part here is going to go just like it did on the other side. But let me get the correct screws out. BM screws, which there are 4 of. 1 spare, 3 on the cloth. So the short arm here, a little bit of oil. Sorry, my meat hook is in the way. Hood's not done. Only half the hood's done. It's too tight. Back it out just a hair. A little bit more. This one. Exact same thing on this side as on the other side. This one's going to go a little bit quicker because this time I know what I'm doing. I tend to pretend I know what I'm doing most times. Most people don't catch on. Got that. Tightening this one down. It's going okay, but not perfect. Back it out a little bit and tighten it down. Backing it out lets some of the paint that gets scraped off in the threads fall out and creates the space you need to be able to put the parts or put the screw through. So this time I'm going to put this one in right the first time. A little bit of oil. It would be helpful if I didn't drop the screw. By the way, I've I don't know if you're still here, Kenny and family. I realized I didn't say hi to Junior, Elaine, and Kelly. Hello if you are still listening. I just realized that. I apologize for not saying it earlier. So that screw is going into there. And I want to say that the first time I did this on the other side, this was almost 15 minutes. Okay, so now lining this up, it goes like so. And again, hole there will go into, or the screw will go through that hole and into that hole there. And let me get out the QM screws. Wrong box. I've done that before, screwed up the order of the screws. I was able to get away with it, but it's not something I like to do. So it goes through here first. Actually, just because I don't know that the oil is doing anything. Through this one. Let's see if I can line this up. That's lined up. Through there. And hopefully the screw goes right in. This is one of those times that I should be a lefty so that I can have everything facing this way instead. Tighten just a hair. Oh, by the way, I haven't even seen if Shoe's watching tonight. I got something in the mail today that it kind of surprised me when I got the email saying that Eagle Moss was sending me something, and oh, by the way, your account remains canceled. And I was like, wait, no, what? I never canceled my account. Where did I put them? I don't know where I put the box. But I got, because I ended up with 3 accounts and ordered more than one time, I ended up with all the specials, which includes the pins that they were out of for the longest time, so I've got them somewhere around here. I still think that that is a better perk, and I ended up with 2 of them. Alright, back to this and stop flapping my gums. Let's see. This has actually been showing things a little bit better. Yeah, you can see those arrows a little bit better now. Those arrows have to line up, and then this folds over top of it and line up all 3 of these holes while not losing the arrow, which I just did, I think, by 1 tooth. Yeah, I did. And line up all 3 of these holes at the same time. It's kind of interesting. Try and do that. Drop the screw, because I've got to get it through all 3 without shifting everything all over the place. Yeah, tiny windows on the Enterprise are not tedious. Tiny windows on the Enterprise are tedious. And here's where Donnie says, send it to me. I'll take care of it. I know you're going to say it, Donnie. Go ahead. Fine. He's not saying it this time because I said it. Almost. It's like the guy in Star Wars. Almost there. Again, backed it out a little bit so that it would sink in a little bit better. They didn't cancel my account. They canceled one of my accounts because I told them to. I ended up with 3 accounts. And oh, by the way, when I called them to talk to them about that stuff, last Thursday they told me that they would be shipping me parts out on Thursday. Still haven't seen any. And I know what's happening because it was happening before, and I can't afford, much as I'd like to, much as Donnie would like me to, I can afford to go back to the weekly on the Enterprise. I just don't have the fundage. Okay. Second hinge, most of the way done. It catches a little bit, but it's not going to matter one bit. That screw looks like it's off a little bit. So next page where they tell me to put the spring on. Oh wow, next page where they tell me to do what I just did. There's an idea. Pay-per-view. Then I can afford it. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I don't do this for money. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it to support the community and have a good time. So there's the first spring again. Let me move that over there, or extend the hinge. See if this one will go on just as easily as the first one did. Did not. I think the first one was just a fluke. Okay, let's try it with the brute force method. I'm almost there. You know, that's why they give you this long shaft on here. I just got lucky the last time. So what I should have done last time is grab that shaft with a pair of needle nose pliers like I just did, and it would pop straight in. And again, this thing is really hard to push. Damn. Nothing's blocking. No, it's just that hard to push. This side's harder than the other side. I just need to work it out a little bit, and now it works. So this now goes on to here using 2 RM screws. but I has to spend a lot on the other ones. I don't know. I think you're a little bit. Let's see. You do it for fame, fortune. I don't know, Kenny. I think you're pretty famous around modeling circles, and you do have the ladies there with you right now, maybe, but you do have the ladies there. I even asked my wife when I got ready to stream. I was like, "You gonna watch?" She's like, "Nope." I'm like, okay. She has watched 1 or 2, but that was the extent of it. Okay, in there. Oh, I'm missing the hole that is in there too. I'm doing this one all kinds of wrong. I was completely missing the hole that is for the screwdriver to go through. This one. Still loose. That one's solid. Okay, they're both a little wobbly. Okay, that should be good, because this is going to attach next to the body of the car. So let me get this stuff out of here. Move the boat. Move the hood. And try and get this beast onto this table. I am not sure how. DM screws are what is going to hold it on. Oh, that's not too bad. Tiny Batman will supervise. So now, according to the book, we get another cloth for under the nose of the car. And let's switch over. If I can find my mouse, switch over to that. So you actually have a little bit of a view of what's going on. So it goes up underneath there. 4 DMs. And somehow I've got to compress this spring while I'm doing it, because there's lug here with a screw hole, lug here with a screw hole, and there. A lug here, a lug here. So this is going to be interesting. What I ought to do is lay it on this. It's really what I ought to do. Let go. Lay it on the side. One-handed, that thing gets heavy. This thing gets heavy in a hurry. Get my screwdriver. At least the screws are coming in from the bottom where I'm at. There's two there. This way it doesn't matter if I'm the spring, if it's up, the hood is up or down. Okay, this is getting a little bit more interesting than I expected it to. And I'm knocking the other camera around. So got it in place. Kind of. Actually, whichever screw hole I can get it. Okay, that's in there, but it is into the hinge. Wait, no, it's Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza. So think that's a magical word. I've got that one spring. Let's see. Yeah, it is in there. Oh, Tiny Batman is down. And so is one screw. Damn it. Okay. Let's try this. Of course, the screws are playing hide and go seek right now. I only need to get two of them in there firmly, and then the other two will be a piece of cake. I'm not sure if you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. But you didn't see the screw wobbling back and forth. Okay, that one is in, but it's not tight. You get these other two out. Roll this big boy back over and see if I can get the front screws at least started. I think I got a winner there. I can't even see the hole from where I'm at. Okay, there. Okay, now some brute force to see if I can snap these screws off. I wonder, will that... Yeah, the hood is not yet catching. It'd be nice if it did. Sorry if that all you can see is my fat head. That one's in. I thought this one was in, but when I closed the hood, it popped up by about 1/4 of an inch. Let me bring him up on his side again. Let me back this one all the way out. I have one screw in all the way. Double check and make sure. Not all the way, but about 90% of the way. I added some oil to this screw to hopefully help it actually get seated in there. And now I'm doing this left-handed. See if I can work my way over here and do it right-handed instead, because that's my strong side. A lot better. I think this one is all but in there. Close the hood again. Hold it the same way. The back ones are not. That one's done. Let me see what this one is. Hey Kelly, how's it going? I'm guessing you probably have Elaine with you, Kelly. So, hello Elaine as well. Okay, that's two. Let me double check this one. This is where I snapped this one off. I am fantastic. I don't know if Kenny told you, but hey Dan, welcome. Don't know if Kenny told you, but there's some changes going on at work that I am just ecstatic about. Double check, pull the hood down. That's 3. So Dan, is this your first time on my stream? Have you ever been over to HLI, Hobby Link International? It's a great place that, and most of the people, yes Dan, is 1/8 scale. Somebody's leaving, Kelly. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that. Somebody that is not my favorite person. And he knows it. So I have chewed the head up on this screw bad enough that I need to replace it because it's not going to go in. Cool. Just want to make sure, Dan, because being a member, you know that it is a great place to get together with other modelers. So let me get one of my older spare DN screws. And this is why I keep all my spares. Because if I screw up a screw or chew it up bad enough, I have spares to replace it with. Catching, yep. Close the hood down. Yeah, and Dan, it's 1/8 scale, and I want to say it's like 33 inches when done. So that one's in, that one's in. Ugh. Let me see. Yeah, the weight of the hood will keep it down. Jalen, you never know what you're gonna find on my channel. The funny thing is, I'm going to be hearing about aggressive screwing during a live stream forever now. So let me configuring the video on here, if I can get it to come up. Oh, it's a separate window. Come on, where are you at? I was trying to zoom back out. Oh, no wonder. It's on the wrong, I'm sitting there looking at the wrong side. So there's an idea of how big this thing actually is. It does. It does weigh a ton. This part is, the body is not that bad yet. But I'm about to add some severe or serious weight to it because I've got the roof to it. But first, let me take this out of the way because the next pack, which is 73, comes in a box. And it's not much more massive. Oh, tiny Batman, stand back there. Not much more massive than the DeLorean was. Like I said earlier, it's probably 2 to 3 inches, well, 3 to 6 inches longer. I hate it when I go blind and I can't figure out where I put my blade. It's probably somewhere right in sight too. But it's 3 to 6 inches longer than the DeLorean, which, like I said, makes it probably about 33 inches, 30 to 33. I am sure I'm staring straight at my knife. There's one. There's probably another one there. Yeah, things you can't say about or to your wife. I don't remember, I don't think, maybe it was the Terminator. I don't remember whether the Ghostbuster car came with a screwdriver or not. So, GB, it's funny that you should mention if they did the original Batmobile, the 66 Batmobile in this scale. It's not yet released, Kenny. They're still working on it. Eventually they will release it. But as of right now, it's not yet released. I am on the waiting list for it when it comes out, as well as the Titanic when the Titanic comes out. Titanic is actually going to be, I believe, a 1/200 scale, which I know I already have one that's made out of plastic. I want it. And if you go over, well, actually you can't go over to the Eagle Moss site and pre-order it now because they only did the pre-order. You know, they did a short run pre-order to see if there was interest, and I'm pretty sure there was enough interest because last time I talked to them they said, so you've got this and this, which is the Titanic and the 66 Batmobile accounts, and I'm like, yep, still waiting on those. Now, and when there is an original, when there's a 66 Batmobile available, trust me, you will be seeing it on my channel. Okay, so this, not this, where did I put it? I have misplaced a large chunk of white metal. There it is. I set the book on top of it. Not sure why they put a separate panel for the top. Yeah, I'm doing the Enterprise as well. I have managed to do well for myself in life, which is why I can afford so much mad money. But that all ends in 6 years when I can no longer, well, when I no longer work and I'm retired and won't have the excess funds that I do now. So this has an arrow on it. Actually, let me point that one back over. Okay. Oops, a little bit too far over. Can barely see there. There's an arrow here. That arrow points to the front, and this panel just sits in here on the like that. And then you saw me get out the EMs, or get a bunch of EM screws. Man, I am losing my mind. What's that? What's that? There's the one I'm looking for. I need 6 EM screws to attach this part. Don't know why they put this panel separate unless it's just to give you more parts. Yes, absolutely. But whose house? Whose house will we live in? You've got yours, I've got mine. Both of them are very nice houses. Although you do have a lot more dirt than I do. And you're putting in a pool. That works too. But which, here's the only problem. I was going to say, we'll go to the warm state and, you know, in the winter, but unfortunately neither of us is in a warm state. Although you are further north than I am, and it snows a little bit more there than it does here. I just have to worry about tornadoes. You have the in-ground pool. I've got the jacuzzi. Okay, lift this up so that I can get all of these tightened all the way down. Well, it's funny because about tornadoes. The house we had when we were in Wisconsin, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, we bought it and didn't even know the history of it. We bought it in March, and in January, maybe it was like the 2nd of February, they had had a near miss from a tornado. Bought a house that most people wouldn't, had a railroad berm behind it, but the price was right, and we liked the house. And we were down on the ground floor, so we never heard the noise. The kids heard the noise a lot more than we did, and our neighbors heard it, you know, neighbors across the street heard it even worse. But 2 months before we bought the house, a tornado had been heading towards the house. It hit the railroad berm behind the house, which popped it up, and it came back down about 1.5 miles away in Lake Michigan. Wait. Oh, sure, Spence. You don't want us to come there. I'm not stalling. I'm working on other things. So there's that panel in place. And we get the smudges off of it. This one I'm not near as concerned about because all the other stuff will be on top of it. Now, not move. Move this stuff out of the way. Flip this back over. See if I can do this without disrupting the camera that I'm using right now. Because now this bolts on top of this. And they've got it pointing away like that. So this has to turn around. I'm going to show you this lug, one matching over on the other side. Match up with holes. And they're matching lugs and holes up here in the front. But I gotta jockey this thing a little bit because it's not lining up. Yes, no one gets drunk. So this is going to be a little bit interesting because it is not perfectly lined up. Okay, those screws that are, or these ones that I'm looking at that are recessed are not the ones I'm worried about right now. But still, that is one hell of a gap back here. Push that one in, let me get an EM screw. Speaking of which, there's the DM I dropped earlier. I just stepped on it. Was it the DM? Because look, oh there. I couldn't find the thing for it. Got too many screws out. I'm just going to drop a cluster of these up here, the EM screws, and I'm going to try to get this one to go in and hopefully seat fully. There, now you can see what I'm talking about. That feels like it's good. All the way across the corner to the front. Hopefully this one will do the same thing, which will make it a lot easier because, oh yeah, that's going to go in. Maybe it's going to go. It feels like it's in, but it also, there, it's loose. That's better. I can feel it tightening this time. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and forth, basically corner to corner, so that by the time I get to the middle, everything will be pulled together. Not sure what you mean. Oh, DM, Dungeon Master, got it. I'm sorry, Donnie, I did not mean to step on you. Since you are the DM, I believe, usually on your Saturday night games. Feels like that one's caught. That one's good. So back to this back corner here. Which is not catching right now. Yeah, I feel it. I'm gonna have to push this thing together pretty hard. Come on. I think it caught. Maybe. Then again, maybe not. No, it's not. It just came loose. Nope. So that one's got to catch because that one's got a good distance to the next screw. Let's see if I can get that out. Let's see. Now you see the gap right here? This is what I'm fighting with right now. I think I've got the solution to that problem. As long as this thing doesn't fall off and scratch the shit out of the car, it should be fine. If I can find a place to actually grab hold with. Matter of fact, I don't need the base, so let me... What I'm doing, guys, is I've got a hobby clamp in here, and I'm taking as much of it off as I can, so that it's not going to weigh very much. Maybe there from the back. And it's got rubber jaws on it, so I should be able to clamp this down. Hopefully. If I can ever get it to go whole. Okay, I'm actually finally making contact. Now, I'll be honest, if it touches on the metal, goes metal to metal on the inside and it scratches it, I'm not so concerned. It's the outside I'm more concerned with. So let me start with a pristine screw and see if I can pull that sucker in. I think I may have caught it. Don't think it's quite there. No, it's not catching. Not in the slightest. Let me loosen this one and maybe it'll let it shift a little bit. Because what it looks like is the screw hole, or the lug, isn't going down where it's supposed to completely. Only one. I can only use one screw at a time. Damn it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the other screws in, not expecting that it's going to pull it in for me, but just that way I'm not staying frustrated because it's not going in. And maybe it'll suck it down to where I can actually get that last one in. Let me just see. Yeah, it just says put screws in. Doesn't say the secret is to do this. Sorry. Rotate it so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Actually, let me... there, that's better. And then here, because of this joint here, there are two. This one is giving me some grief as well. It was giving me a little bit of grief. I think I actually got it to catch. This one, yeah, that one's catching. That one's caught. That one's going in without any problem. So maybe I started the wrong end. Okay, so those are all caught. I'll be damned. That actually worked. Putting the screws in, other screws in, actually tightened this one up enough to where I could get it in. This is almost hard work. So guess what, guys? We're hitting another record screen. I'm up to 2 hours again. Second time. But nobody will ever beat Kenny's 8 hours. Let me back this off a little bit. Okay. Let me put this away. You know, I haven't used this hobby clamp in years, but I refuse to throw anything away. That's exactly what it's supposed to look like at the end of stage 73, stage 74. Isn't very much to stage 74. So I'm going to finish it. But for the first part of stage 74, I need the other. I need the quarter panel instead. Or it is the quarter panel. I have stuff strewn everywhere now, guys. I agree. I love it too, Kenny. That's why, as much as it irritates Donnie, I keep working on it. So here is the last pack for tonight. Pull the plastic. So these are some sort of wire guides. They go inside the. Do they go inside the? No, they go inside the bottom, the main part of the car. Got a little bit of trim for this quarter panel. EM and BM screws. Speaking of which, just so I have somewhere to set this thing when I'm done. Okay, those two. I'm actually cleaning a little bit of space up because my side bench here is where the car is supposed to be sitting and there's no room for it. Too many screws. Still don't see my Exacto. Or not my, yeah, my Exacto. Don't see the one I was using earlier. With this. Put this screw box over here. Cheers, guys. This has been sitting here all evening. You're right. It ain't no Enterprise. It's the Ghostbusters car. Okay. Book over here where I can see it again easy. So first thing is BM screws. Dan, that's exactly what this is. This is a little bit of rum and coke. So in actuality, I should be working on the Black Pearl before the rum's gone. So BM screws, I need 3 of them. There are 3 screw holes to the trim, and they match up with the 3 screw holes on the quarter panel. I've got to get a real neodymium magnet. I've got some really small ones, but I need to re-magnetize that screwdriver. Get that out of the way. So this will go on here just like... I may have been pointing at the wrong screw holes. I was actually. Sorry, it's these ones in here. This one here and 2 here in the black. Put these little lugs over top, and there is actually a recess so that once it's in there, I'm pulling toward, trying to move it, and it doesn't. So once it's in there, it's going to stay. Especially if I put the center screw in, it'll stay there. Yeah, I understand that. Back in the day, Jack and I went rounds. I didn't talk to him for about 30 years. But Jack and I are friends again, as well as Jim. Matter of fact, we restocked our bar in our movie room. It's got a couple of liqueurs, some rum, and 8 types of whiskey. Don't know why. Alright. So you can see the chrome is on there. I forgot about those magnetic strips you have across the top of your desk. That sounds like a really smart idea. Except I don't have anywhere to put them. Because there's what's in front of my desk. I have windows all the way around me. And I need 2 of these screws. Set that. I'll set the screws over here as well. But why, Donnie? We have, they're not heated, sorry, but we do have ceiling fans close by, and a little heater we keep in the furnace / AC room that's just off the movie room, and only a 82-inch screen that we watch the movies on. And the funny thing is, that is actually my wife's TV. But yeah, as a matter of fact, you would have enjoyed what we watched this weekend. I've not watched Star Trek the motion picture in probably 35 years until tonight, or last night, or no. Yeah, today's Tuesday, so that was Saturday. Yes, whiskey. Many kinds of whiskey. He does, and he might want to see the Millennium Falcon that's hanging on the wall as well. So I've got this thing up on its side, and I just realized I'm looking at the wrong side. I need it to be completely upside down, because these wire covers, which you can see wires will go through there, and they're open on the ends, go over here. Don't be me pointing where you can't see. One will go here, one will go here, and that's what those screws are for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the screws started rather than fight with them. Well, okay. That didn't work. What the hell? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screw holes. I'm looking at this screw hole here, which is for a larger screw. And there's actually a screw hole down here. Let's see. Close the hood a little bit. See if I can get. And I'm sure what these two, come on. These two wire holders are for is the headlight wires. Again, black screws going into a black part. Makes it a little bit difficult. Hang on. Director's edition is better. Jim Beam aged black. That sounds yummy. We could watch Galaxy Quest and drink whiskey. Eric, you're right. Eric would not be. Eric, you're just in time. We're going to watch Galaxy Quest and drink whiskey. Are you in? You don't have to drink whiskey. You can just have a Coke. So the opening on these should be facing towards the back. Okay, that means Eric is not in, and it's either the whiskey or more likely Galaxy Quest. Sorry, the part is in the way to where you guys can't see it. But it's kind of funny too. My wife and I were talking, and we were talking about cameras and issues. And she said, "Well, maybe for Christmas." So Kenny, I know what you're looking for, a really good, because you're looking for doing a professional setup. I need a cheapo camera, a cheap, decent camera. That is almost as tight as I can get it, but that part is still really loose. Let me tighten it down a little bit more. Get this back on there before I can't get it back in. Do it that way I can make sure that it's on there. Tighten, tighten, tighten. That looks like it is all but off of there, so let me pry it on. Should be good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is we're 1100 is a little pricey for me. Canon C920. I already got that. Okay, I'm catching up with chat. Jack Honey sounds yummy. Wild Turkey is a good choice. Yeah, we've never been able to get Eric to watch Galaxy Quest, and we've been trying for literally months. We took away his nerd card. Everybody who joins the chat on Discord ends up giving him shit about not watching Galaxy Quest. Jalen really kind of joined us about 2 weeks ago, and she's well into it as well. Okay, almost. Still a little bit loose. Come on. Yeah, see, well, right now, the one that I'm on, that you guys are getting a really good shot at the back of my arm, back of my hand, is a C615 that's about 8 years old. I've got a C922, which is the other one I've been using tonight after I gave up on DroidCam. Let me flip this back over. And actually, before I do that, me see if I can actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, but in there are the two wire things, wire holders. So the C, I'll catch you later, GB. Sorry it was late tonight. Probably be late again next week based on things that are going. I've never had any problem with the C922. Wow. So, like I said, see, I've got the, well, right now you can see 615 was having some issues with all this white and the bright lights. But that's the C922. Hasn't had any problem that I know of, or that I've noticed. It actually works pretty well as far as I'm concerned. I'm repositioning this one where it was earlier tonight. So let me move this monster out of the way. And I'm thinking the same thing, Donnie, is that I'm going to switch back to the 922 being my overhead and use the 615 wherever it ends up. But no, let me move this over here. I like to see me. So yeah, the I'm looking probably to get a DSLR to have as one of my main cameras, because I'm getting to the point that Donnie is, I'm not going to use Droid Cam. Have to say, got a lot done tonight. It was only 4 stages, but the stages are getting to where, on all the things I've got, are getting to where they take forever to do. Totally agree, Dan. Dan, what'd you say? Yeah, best thing, your eyesight is precious. And when I went to the eye doctor and got these glasses, apparently I'm developing cataracts and I'm not happy about it. But old happens. So, let me see. Canon 60D. Is that a newer camera or older camera, Donnie? Because, like I said, I'm looking around, and Kenny, so far, when I've talked to him and asked him for boo, old, yes, but old happens, Kenny. And the thing is, as we get older, we get to where we can retire, and then when I retire, I will be doing only models. I did try talking about cameras. At one point, I was going to try and use this thing. It does video, but it doesn't do Wi-Fi. So I'm just looking for something that is decent, better than a webcam, not quite as good, maybe, as these are, because if you look, this thing is still running slow. Matter of fact, let me shut down Droid Cam. Yeah, because it is horrendous how it's working tonight. Yeah, like not watching bad movies, which means that you're not very old, Eric, because you're not watching a good movie. Getting old is not for wimps. Oh, you use this camera? It's not a bad camera for just a camera if you're using it for taking out and taking pictures and stuff like that. But it's not a good camera for webcam. You know, for doing YouTube videos. And you know, that's what I'm looking for. Something that I'm going to hang here permanently and we'll be able to move it around the way I've done this one tonight. So, pretty impressive, guys. I'm up to 9:22, according to the stream, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Of course, that's including the title cards and everything. Longest stream yet, I believe. If it's not the longest, it's the second longest. So I'm going to call it good tonight. I am really happy with how this worked, although it did take a little bit longer than I expected. When I first looked at it, I was like, maybe 90 minutes. But no, it's coming along. Donnie, we will be building the Enterprise sometime soon. Striving for. Oh, still. I am not trying to do an 8-hour stream. My wife will be like, "Where were you?" So, had a great time, guys, tonight. I did. I hope you did. If you're not a member of HobbyLink International, and even if you are, no, you're not taking a bat to Goofy. But if you're not a member of HobbyLink International, please come over to the site. There's a link in the description. If you like models, if you're into models, if you just like looking at models, there's a great bunch of guys over there. Kenny also is working on boards and stuff, and they also sell some models through their store. I'm a member, have been for coming up on 2 or 3 years. Been watching Kenny forever, but great place to visit. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. If you want to see, if you want to see more, please subscribe. Up to you if you do or you don't. It doesn't bother me one way or another. Let's see. Have a meeting to decide more boards. Great stream. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. Like I said, like, subscribe, and have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow, and take care of yourself. It's a lot of things going on in the world right now, and it's just one of these things of it's best to keep to yourself and do some models. Have a great evening, guys. Thanks for stopping by.